Imran Khan took to the stage at Davos for the first time in his capacity as Prime Minister of Pakistan. He shared his vision to create a welfare state after seeing one in action in the UK. "This is my vision. All the policies which we make are towards that end, to make Pakistan into a humane country where the government takes the responsibility for the weaker sections of society." He also stressed the importance of good governance if Pakistan is to reach its full potential. Sadly, our governance deteriorated in the past 30 years. That is one of the biggest reasons we have not been able to fill our potential as a country. From now on, my biggest challenge is how we can improve our state institutions, so we can improve our governance, so we can tap our potential. He also talked about the geopolitics of the wider region and beyond, saying the country would not be able to rebuild its economy without peace and stability. He said it was a mistake for Pakistan to have entered the war on terror and vowed only to be a peace broker or mediator going forward. From now onwards, Pakistan will only partner with another country in peace. We would not become part of any other conflict. We would not join any other country in conflict. He went on to say that Pakistan is helping mediate in Afghanistan, and he gave his opinion on any increased escalation of conflict between the US and Iran. "It will be a disaster. It will cause poverty in the world, and God knows how long it may go on. I spoke to President Trump yesterday, and I told him it would be a disaster for us." Finally, he spoke of his love for the beauty of his country and the need to protect the environment. To this end, he is committed to a campaign to plant 10 billion trees. What I loved about Pakistan was its wilderness, its mountains. With age, I saw this wilderness disappearing and the way we destroyed our forests cover. I always resolved that I would make sure that we preserve the God-given beauty of this country. Believe in yourself, and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. In the face of adversity, true strength lies in never giving up. Success comes to those who work hard and stay persistent in their efforts. Don't be afraid of failure. It's an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Dream big and have the courage to pursue those dreams with unwavering determination. Stay focused on your goals and don't let distractions deter you from your path. The road to success is often bumpy, but it's those who keep going that eventually reach the destination. Challenges are stepping stones to greatness. Embrace them and rise above. Leadership is about serving others and working for the greater good. Positive thinking and a positive attitude can turn obstacles into stepping stones. It is not defeat that destroys you. It is being demoralized by defeat that destroys you. The more you study, the more you know how less you know. I have always believed that one should not be scared of losing. I think that is the key. Never give up, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how much pain you feel. Pain will eventually subside. Nothing remains forever, so keep going and don't give up. Are we Pakistanis, children of a lesser God? Is there one law for the West and one for us? Is our democracy supposed to be only democracy if you give us a no objection certificate? Lack of rule of law is the main reason Pakistan could not join the ranks of progressive nations. Compromise for your dream, but never compromise on your dream. Leader leads people. The leader does not follow public opinion. We must speak the truth if we are to be a great nation. Crime should not pay, it must be punished. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, big crimes do get rewarded. When I was older, I found Iqbal's work hugely inspirational. He argued against an unquestioning acceptance of Western democracy as the self-governing model, and instead suggested that by following the rules of Islam, a society would tend naturally towards social justice, tolerance, peace, and equality. Iqbal's interpretation of Islam differs very widely from the narrow meaning that is sometimes given to it. For Iqbal, Islam is not just the name for certain beliefs and forms of worship. The difference between a Muslim and a non-Muslim is not merely a theological one, it is a difference of a fundamental attitude towards life. Holy Prophet PBUH promulgated a justice system regardless of the status of people, yet in Pak, the powerful easily escapes. I felt like the Islamic scholar Muhammad Abdu, 1849 to 1905, who said on his return from a trip to Europe to his homeland Egypt, "I saw no Muslims in Europe, but I saw a lot of Islam, and of his homeland, there are a lot of Muslims here, but no Islam." Faith without wisdom and knowledge could produce bigots completely lacking in compassion and tolerance. There is so much debate about moderate and radical Islam, but there is only one Islam. My Pakistanis, you have not left me alone, and I promise I will never leave you alone, inshallah. Imran Khan asked Pakistanis of 4 things at the historic Lahore Jalsa. 1. We shall never lie and always speak the truth. 2. Leave our egos behind and only think of this nation. There are 11 crore Pakistanis living beneath the poverty line. 3. We shall be brave and break the shackles of fear. 4. We have to bring justice to this society. Even if our friends and relatives do injustice, we shall be fair and bring them to justice. Certain folks start playing sin card despite having ravaged the life of the common Sindhi. Allah exalts whom He wills. Mothers, train your children to only speak the truth. The war on terror is the most insane and immoral ever. The Americans are doing what they did in Vietnam, bombing villages. But how can a civilized nation do this? How can you eliminate suspects, their wives, their children, their families, their neighbors? How can you justify this? Bravery is standing with the truth and right. There are greater goals in life than material and sensual pleasures. Truth is the power that will resolve our problems. Prophet PBUH considered the ink of a scholar to be holier than the blood of a martyr. I want you all to stand like the Muslims who stood with La ilaha illallah for truth and right. Say goodbye to the IMF once and for all, as the IMF's conditions enriches the rich and impoverish the poor. Good deeds must be rewarded by the system and crimes be punished. This is the essence of meritocracy. Ethnic-based politics is being used to exhort people to serve own ends. This is anathema to the concept of nationalism. When you remove the concept of reward and punishment on merit, the result is the utter destruction of the social fabric. I wanted to be an outstanding player. That was my ambition. Faith should be about encouraging all that is noble in a human being. When I announced my party, Tehreek-e-Insaf, Movement for Justice, on the 25th of April 1996, I had lost all fear of dying. Iqbal not only conceived of a self-governing Muslim state, his passionate voice awakened and activated Indian Muslims, motivating them not only to strive to free themselves from the bondage of imperialism and colonialism, but also to challenge other forms of totalitarian control. Believing fervently in human equality and the right of human beings to dignity, justice, and freedom, Iqbal empowered the disempowered to stand up and be counted. A condemned poor man who steals to feed his starving kid is slammed into prison. Contrast this to a rich man's crime percenter follows his ideology. Leader does not follow his relatives and friends. According to the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, 54% of Pakistanis face multidimensional deprivation, meaning they lack access to proper education and health facilities and a decent standard of living. Almost 2/3 of the country lives on less than $2 a day, and about 40% of Pakistani children suffer from chronic malnutrition. How can Pakistan be called an Islamic society? End your ego, think of nation. Starting a war is in our hands, it is easy, but ending a war, that is not in our hands, and no one knows what will happen. The Pakistani government is keen to bring about a revolution in Balochistan through projects of infrastructure and human development.